Hey everyone, welcome back. So I'm going to put you through on how to understand the QuickBook preference. So let's go to our QuickBook. So you can have my QuickBook page already open for Salvation Health Limited. So let's start with the first. You go back down to preferences, go to accounting. We have my preferences. We have company preferences. Now when we look at company preferences, we have the first one, use account number. Now what it means is that if I close this, go to edit, and let's go to list and chart of account. You will notice now we have accounts, but there is no general ledger number, and it's always important to identify your accounts with a general ledger number. So for us to have this done, we go to edit, go to preferences, and we go to accounting, company preferences, and we click on use account number. Now we click it, and there is it. Now each of the accounts has its own ledger account number, and you can see we have 11,000 for receivables, 12,000 for 100% fund. The income is from 47, well, from 40 to 40. We focus more on the 40,000, while expensive photo from 60,000, while that of other income 70,000, while estimate and ask my account falls from 90,000 to 80,000 respectively. So that's all about creating a ledger account number. So if we go back to my preferences, under company preference, we said use lowest sub account number. Now what it means is that if we click OK, what it means that if there's any sub account, it will also be identified with its own number. I think we have one, utilities. Yes, you can see that we have utilities, and we now have electricity that has its own sub account number. So that's all about it. Just go back to my preferences, edit, company preferences. The next one, use class tracking for transaction. Now for us to identify this, we click on OK. Now let me unclick on it first so that we identify the purpose of it. We go to customer and go to enter sales receipt. Now you will notice that under this particular receipt there is nothing like class. You can look, there's no class here, and likewise if we go to list, we notice there's nothing like class list here. So what we'll do, go back to my preferences, company preferences, you now click on use class tracking for transaction, click OK, and you notice now we have class. Likewise we go to list, we have class, and if we can click on it, you will notice that I've already inputted some class here. You can see we have fee for service, NHIS capitation, and private capitation. So I will show you how I input all this. So what I do, I'll go back to my class list, click on class list. When you click on class list, come down and click on class and click on new. So what we'll put here is NHIS fee for service, NHIS fee for service. Click on OK. We can adjust this and make it private fee for service. So that's all about it. So let's close this. Now we want to post the transaction. I have a working customer, and maybe we used dental. I already have dental. We put I usually put the name of the staff that actually conducted was on that shift when the patient came. Most time will be the description of the procedure, depends. I want to put morning shift, and the amount 120,000, and the date was 28. Let's see, due pleasure work. Okay, it's okay, this seems good. Click on save. I want to make it no, I've not put one yet. The fee for service, and we put private fee for service. Save. Okay, another working customer again. I put dental. Let me add another one again. It's a service. Put physio therapy. Okay, so sub, it's an interest. It's a sales. Okay, and I'll put the same person was on duty when the patient came. Money shift. Okay, and the amount, let's say 120,500. Same date, but let's change it. Let's say NHIS fee for service. Okay, works complete. Let's save it and let's see how the report will go. So now I want to track it. I'll go back to it, to my report, company and financial. Now go to my P&L under class, and there it is. So this is the transaction for those two. If I can click on it, so you can see, let me see the details. And yes, these are the details. You can see that we've even done some other transactions, but you can notice that the two ones are there, 120 and 125, 120,500. So that's all about the class. So let's go back to my edit, preferences, company preferences. Now said automatically assign general journal entry number. So if it's clicked, I'll leave it click. I'll click OK, and I go to my company. I go to my general number, and you notice that QuickBook will tell you assign numbers to journal entry. So that's the purpose of that preferences. It will indicate to you that this journal is being assigned as entry number 1, and that is entry number 1 here. So I'll click OK. So if I won't click it, in the QuickBook will not identify. Okay, if I won't click it now, I click OK. So, and I click company, and click journal entry. You notice that QuickBook did not indicate. So that's the purpose of that preferences. So I go back and I click 8. I want it to be shown now. When posting transaction to retains earning. Now, what is retains earnings? Retains earning is an amount of profit a company has left over after paying all its direct costs, indirect costs, income taxes, and its dividend to shareholders. Now, it's the portion of the company equity that can be used, for instance, to invest in new equipment, research and development, and marketing. So when you make posting into retains, and QuickBook will notify you. Now, hide opening balance field in names and item. No, I will leave it on hide. Now, that's a one if transaction are 90 days in the past. Now, what it means that if I leave it one if transaction 90 days in the past, I click OK, and I'll go to my banking. I want to write a check. Okay, and I've forgotten I've not created a bank yet, so let me create a bank. First Bank. First International Bank. PLC. Okay, account number, mobile number. Okay. Number, good. Okay, so we are here. Let me go back and see under my ledger what banks. Okay, let me remove this first and move this. We don't need it now. Let me come here so I can go back to okay. So now it's not there. So just start with, we are paying prompt HMO. Yes, we are paying a working customer. We are paying him for, do we have anything we are paying for? Yes. Yes, see, we are paying him medical. Do we have anything like refund? Refund. So let me click on medical refund. Expenses, medical refund, medical refund. We're paying the patient some money. Okay, and I put like 13,000. Okay, medical refund. Paying payment of medical refund. Medical refund. Okay, now if you look at this date, now what I'm trying to say now, the QuickBook was saying it will notify you if you are having a transaction of 90 days in the past. So let's backdate this to, let's see, on the 13th of 2021. Okay, now music is good. I want to pay. Now I tell you, transaction is more than 90 days in the past. Are you sure you want to make this change? So QuickBook will notify you. Okay, so I say no. So that's the purpose of these preferences, to indicate and notify you. Now if you say if transaction are 30 days in the future, now what is trying to tell us now this, yes, make it forward it to 13th and click on sales. You now see that transaction is more than 30 days in the future. So that's the purpose of that preferences. So if you want to do transaction, no, so I don't want to do it, so I'll clear it, go back to my preferences, company preferences. So that's all about this too. Now dates through which books are closed. So if you want to close the book for which particular dates you want to indicate, you set the date. The date, maybe it's end of the year, 12 years, so maybe 31st of December 2022, and you put the password and you confirm your password. So that's all about this preferences. Let's go to bills. Bills are due 30 days after receipt. Some indicate 90 days after receipt, some maybe. So if we look at this, bills are due 30 days after receipt. One, about duplicate bills number from sales vendors, meaning that when vendors brings their invoice and you post them with the invoice number, when you now see another invoice sent by that same vendor for another product, but they're still having the same invoice number, QuickBook will notify you so that correction can be made. Then payment bill, is it automatically use credit or automatically use discount? So if I click, so let me cancel this, then go to sales invoice, got the enter bills. Now this is the bills. If you enter the bills, now see the terms here. Now is it due on receipt or consignment, net pay 30 days, net 15, net 30, net 60? So if it's going to have a discount, you put a discount, because you can see under that preferences, under bills, it's saying that automatically use credit, automatically use discount. So if I click discount, you will now indicate where does it want to go to be under sales discount or under the discount allowed. Discount allowed. We'll create a discount allowed. So that's all about it. So let's leave this. Let's go to calendar. Okay. Okay. Let's go to calendar. My calendar. We have the calendar here. Remember last view. That the last time you view, was it monthly or daily? You indicate. Weekly view, you indicate. Display upcoming and past settings, you display or you hide any. So that's more about calendar. Checking. No, I don't want to. Checking. Now checking under my preference. Open the right check form with. You can put. You click on it. If you take me to fast banking. Open the pay bills form with. You put the account number, the account. So that's more about it. Now print under preferences. Print account name on voucher. If you want the account name to reach your browser, you can click on that. Change dates when non-clear check is printed. Start with payee field on check. One about duplicate check number. When you are paying check, when the check initiated might have been used before, it will notify you. Autofill payee account number in check memo. If you want that, you can click on that. Now open the create check paycheck form with. You put the account. Open the payroll liability form with. You authenticate the account. Now write, view and enter download transaction using advanced mode, express mode, classic mode. That's for bank feeds. Now we have desktop field. Okay, I made a change there. Desktop field. Select the feature that you want to show on the home page. Now under my preferences. Now what it means by one window and multiple window. Let me close this and let me close this. Let me close this. Now what it means now is that as we have, if I open one window like company, customer, and let me say enter sales with seats, I've opened one window. You understand? But now when I click on my preferences and I say multiple, maybe I can open more than more, but if I say click only one, means that it's only one that can be opened. But if now only one windows can be opened, but if I now click on multiple, means that many windows can be opened. You can see. So that's the purpose of that. Edit my preferences under save when closing company. Means that immediately you want to save any of your transaction, QuickBook will notify you that you want to close any of your transaction. QuickBook will notify you that you should save all document before you close. Likewise, say save current desktop, it will notify you. So I'll leave it as that. Show home page when opening a company file. Like I said, immediately I open a company file, the next that will show after I have opened a company file is to show the home page. Switch to color icon, slide the background or top icon bar. You don't need that. So that's all about the preferences under checking. Finance charges. We have company finance charges, annual interest rate, multiple finance charge, grace period, finance charge account. Means that if possible you want to collect loan or you actually want to give out loan, you indicate the interest that is stipulated and you put the charges also incurred, then the grace period, then the account that is actually being received those loan or the loan is being given out to, is indicated here. Now we have general. Under general we have printing, enter, move between field. If you want that, you click on that. Automatically open drop down list when typing. That is something like this. You click on this drop down list like that, everything will come out. Make it easy. Beep when we're going to transaction. Immediately you make a transaction, there's a sound that will be made that it has transaction was successful. Automatically place decimal points if you want that one when editing a transaction. Whenever you want to edit a transaction, people will notify you. Bring back all one-time messages. Top off pop-up message for product. Show top tip for click tags. One when deleting a transaction or unused transaction. So whenever you want to delete a transaction or unused charge, QuickBook will notify you. Automatically recall information. Automatically remember account or transaction information. It will also indicate there. Preview account for vendors based on past transaction will also indicate that. So that's all about the company preferences. Integrated application. Under we have company preferences. Now you can manage all applications that interact with this QuickBook file here. Don't allow any application to access the account. Notify the user before running any application whose certificate has expired. So don't allow. So anyone you want, I already have a QuickBook Fixed Asset Manager that's already applied to the company file. So I will allow, but I'll click on notify. So that one's okay. Item, okay, I'll click yes. Item and inventory. Under my preferences, if I have none, company preferences, inventory and purchase order are active. I'll make them active. So when I make them active, one about duplicate purchase order. So whenever you make a duplicate purchase order, people will notify you. When calculating quantity available for any of my inventory, deduct quantity reserved for pending build. One, if not enough inventory to sell, if you don't have enough inventory in your stock, QuickBook will notify you. When the quantity I want to exceed quantity available, when the quantity I want to exceed quantity on hand, when the quantity I want to exceed quantity available. So QuickBook will notify you there. Yes, you have done that. So that's all about get file folder serial number now. Jobs and estimates. Okay, I click yes. Job and estimate. Okay, company, is it pending? Is it awarded? Is it in progress? Is it closed? Is it not awarded? Do you create an estimate? Yes. Do you progress in invoices? Yes. So last one is perfect. Multiple currency. Under my preferences, none. Under company preferences, no. I use only one currency, so let's leave that. Then the payment terms. Under my preferences, we have non-company preferences. Automatically apply payment, leave that. Automatically calculate payment is okay. Use undeposited fund as a default deposit to account. Now that is where I was trying to bring it up. Now if I say use undeposited funds, I click, let's see, use undeposited fund. Yeah, click for default, not click no. Now let me go back to customer payment. Yes, payment amount. Now you can see that it is now removed, but before, when it was clicked on, means that it was only undeposited fund that was seen as default. If I click this and I leave it, okay, and I go back to customer receive payment, you will see now that there's nothing for that shows undeposited, nothing that I can, nowhere I can deposit the cash or the check. But so in default it's going to undeposited fund. But when I go back to my preferences, go to company, and I click on it, and I go back to customer and I click receive payment. Now you can see that it has shown the undeposited fund. The payment was made, can be made to any of the bank. So that's the purpose of that preferences. You go back to edit, preferences, payroll and employee. So the payroll, you see full payroll I click on full payroll. You see manual payroll. Okay, yes, I'll leave that. Online payroll, pay sub and voucher check, workman compensation, sick and voucher. So this is all about the payroll. You can put the name. You see the first name or the last name you want to put to indicate that. That's the purpose of the payroll. So let's go back to edit, preferences, reminders. Once anything under reminder, preference, yes. If you want to print check, QuickBook will remind you. You want to fill 5 days before check date. Payment to print 5 days before paycheck date. Invoice credit memos to print 5 days. So these are the reminder. If for inventory, for assembling item, bills to pay, QuickBook will remind you all about this, the purchase order. So that's the purpose of these preferences. Report graph. Report graph. Now you see Accra. Yes, it's an Accra brace. Now the purpose of what is the meaning of Accra? Now Accra is accounting adjustment used to track and record revenue that have been earned but not received, or expenses that have been incurred but not paid. So we are running an Accra brace. So yes, this is an Accra. The name and description. So every year is okay. Sales and customers. My preferences. Prompt for time. Company preferences. Okay, sales tax. Do we have any? Do you charge sales tax? No, so that was necessary. Search. Under search, automatically. Okay. Send funds. Invoices. Auto check. Service connection. Let's see, service connection. Automatically connect with that service. And spelling. So that's it's all about it. So spelling, internet address, you can put your internet numbers, just upper class and everything. So that's all about the preferences. But I always advise that you always go through it to be able to understand the preferences, because it will help in designing your report, how you want it to go. So that's the purpose of the preferences. So I thank you for giving me your time, and I hope to see you in our next episode. Please, I would like you to also remember that you should always click on my subscribe button underneath, and also share the videos with others. Thank you very much for giving me your time, and I will see you in our next episode.